Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste friends. Today the topic is on Bhavatithis. This was suggested by one of our subscribers who was keen to get to know if Excel can be put to use for calculating this Bhavatithis. So that inspired me to get into this topic and see what the literature says about this. And when I looked into Phaladipika by Mantreshwara, I checked the book by Pandita Bhushan Sri V. Subramanya Shastri. There in Phaladipika, in page number 121, I saw about how this is used. He says, let me read the sloka itself. Subtract 5 times the figures for the sun from 5 times the figures for the moon. So it is moon minus sun normally that we do for Tithi. That moon minus sun is multiplied by 5. If the Tithi represented by the result be an auspicious one in the bright half of a month, progeny is assured to the native even without much exertion. So if you are going to multiply by 5, you essentially get a Tithi based upon 5, which is Bhava number 5. It is called the Bhava Tithi for the 5th Bhava. So there he says if the 5th Bhava it is going to be good, then you have a good easy birth of children and all that. 5th Bhava Tithi. But if it be one of the dark half of the month, so your Shukla Bhaksha or Krishna Bhaksha can also be checked. So if it's going to be a Krishna Bhaksha Tithi, then there is no such possibility. It is by a close examination of the strength of the Tithi, that is that Bhava Tithi, whether it is auspicious or otherwise, in both the Pakshas, bright and dark, that one has to divine the possibility of the native being blessed with issues. During an Amavasya Tithi or a Chidra Tithi, or during the Vishtikaranas, or any of the Sthirakarnas, there will be no issue at all. So it is very difficult. The Chitra Tithis, of course, we know are the Chaturthi. There are 6 Chitra Tithis, the Chaturthi, Sashti, Ashtami, Navami, and Dvadashi, and the Chaturdashi. So these 6, basically, the Tithis are Chaturthi, which is number 4th Tithi. We have Shashti, which is 6, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12 and 14. So these are difficult Tithis because Chidra, and they can be difficult for getting a child. So I identify here various Bhava Tithis. So in this calculation, you can enter the date of birth as usual for any person, and it has normally gets the degrees from the Swedish FA, the DLL, that's back on the VBA program that's at the back, and gets the degrees in each of the rasis, and it finds the moon minus sun, and that multiplied by the Bhava number would give the Tithi. I'll have to deduct the 360s from that, and depending on if it is negative or positive, I take it as Krishna Bhaksha and Krishna Bhaksha and all that is normally determined here. So Krishna Shashti is the normal Tithi you would do for finding the Tithi. For the first Bhava, that you are not multiplying by anything, you are multiplying just by 1. Whereas we are wanting the second Bhava Tithi, you have to multiply by 2. And in this case, you can do multiple charts. I'm basically I've put a formula here like random between 1 and 804, which was my maximum number of in the database. Number of persons in the database. Let me recalculate. So it will basically calculate and put the graphs for another person. Now this is some other person. So here the graph represents the number of planets that are representing the multiple Tithis. So here fairly Mars has no representation here in this chart. Venus and Rahu seems to be. And I have seen some charts where only 1 Graha or 2 Grahas maximum is representing all the Tithis, 12 Tithis. Maybe they are lopsided people, or there some dimensions are excellent, some dimensions are bad. we can check that easily. Let me do it. See if you see. There are people with such. This is because I have this is an irrelevant date, so forget that. So you see the previous one. There are some people with very lopsided personalities, perhaps, and there are multiple. Abdul Kalam's chart is this, and we see his fifth bhava, he did not have children. He is affected by Chaturthi, which is basically Chidratiti, and Krishna Chaturthi, which is still worse. Therefore, and 4 is back of 5. So Chaturthi represents 4. So back of 5, no children. So that is also maybe one reason. 7, he has again Krishna Dvadashi, which is and he did not marry at all, we know that. So seems to be making sense from, because these are rishis who proclaimed this. See, this is a chart of actress Padmini. She has not many representations, all Surya and some Rahu and Chandra. There are some lopsided people, maybe they are excellent in some most of the fields. We have to basically analyze these things. So it's an interesting topic, and we can use this Excel to essentially identify the Bhavatithis. I have put a link to this file. This is built upon the 64-bit Excel. So you can download and see if it works at your end. And give me feedback in the video at the comment section of how this is working at your side. Thank you very much.